Come in and say hello. This is Ava. Say hi in the mic, yeah?
Hi.
Hi. This is my offsider. So for some reason, I only have 3 channels. Okay, so there's for the 4th channel coming in now. So please, if you can hear me all right, please just put a little comment in there. I'm just checking that everything's working okay. So finally, my technical team, the real technical team, came back to me and sent me an email and said, "Oh, there's we fixed it." I don't know what was wrong. So I'm talking to Brent at the moment, and we'll probably go live a little bit later today. Maybe 8 o'clock. I don't know. We'll see. We'll wing it. And we'll see how we go. You go have your lunch, please. Or bring me some Pepsi Max if you don't mind. No. Oh. I do mind. Just some soda water. Bring me some soda water, please. I do mind. There we go. One Facebook user came through. It looks like it's okay. I hope the visual. We just go through the different scenes and make sure everything's fine. Okay, so the chat's all there. So we've got our scene for Brent's screen tonight. We do have our desktop. My chat is the most important one of the lot. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Go and do what you want. Go play games or something. Roblox. Okay, so they did update a bit of the end user interface. Yeah, I see. So it's just sorry, I think I just blocked you, whoever it was that commented there. Sorry, whoever that was. Let me just go and see. And how do you unblock somebody? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. Apply commands. No, sorry, I did that on by accident now. Where were you commenting from? Let me just check. Kevin Miller likes your live feed. Let me just see. No, it's not from there. Oh my. Okay, so Michelle, Corey Gill, Colin Ray. Okay. Hello, it's all good. Bit of a lag of the sound. Yeah, it's old. That's not something that. Let me just check. Let me just check if I can fix a lag. But the lag is just have to deal with that. You got me. Oh, it still comes through though. It is. So it's been good to be back. I've taken a bit of a hiatus from the reptile industry because I just, copycats out there got on my nerves a little bit. And there's no originality, so you get a little bit over it and you get a little bit, demotivated and stuff. But I think if we can pull the show off tonight with Brent, and I'm not going to have all this stuff here. I'm going to wing it with a lav mic tonight. So. Oh, my wife! Why don't you come and show your face on the computer on the screen here? Huh? Come on! Why come and show your face on the screen? Come on! Come on! Dan's got nothing. Dan Andrews got nothing to say that is going to change our lives. Fuck Dan. Sorry, Dan Andrews the dickhead. I'm a little bit against the Victorian government at the moment. I'm sick of this lockdown now. Set us free. No, leave her there. She doesn't want to come on here. I don't want her face on camera. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the background's nice. Here's the intro. That's the intro background. I made all of that stuff myself. Yeah, all the snakes I made myself. See, one of my old boss, Jason Thompson, also made a little likey on the screen. Hello, mate. How are you? Yeah, life rolls on. Let me just see. I've connected my other again. Just refresh you. I just want to see who I blocked. I blocked somebody by accident. Sorry about that. Looks like one of those. I like the background. Thank you. Yeah. So there's it's a green screen. It's how you do green screen properly. It's none of this garbage that we've got on one of the other shows where you can see gaps in the background and things like that. So okay. So it looks like as soon as I go out of the chat, deletes the chat. Let me just, I think that was a setting that I did. Let me just, there was a setting that I changed. No, Ava, you need to get out of here, please. Bottom, I just wanted to hide messages. No. I want to hide the messages. Okay, so it doesn't look like that. So please make a comment. Please say hi. Yeah, it looks like it's everything out of, I think I might have. So the sound has got lag. Let's see if I can fix that. How many milliseconds do you reckon, Kevin? I can change the milliseconds. Minus 2.2 decibels. Let me just see if I can. I don't know if it's. Let me just check if my. I think I might make it slower. It needs to. My lips are moving and my sound's coming first. I think it's about minus 600 milliseconds. Let me just adjust. 550. There we go. Anastasia, hello. Josh Mackenzie Gator, hello. It's about time the snake people get back together. Huh? Jay Boyle. Oh, g'day, mate. Yeah, we're still around. Go away, please. Close that door and go away. You're just annoying me. Go away. You're standing there. Close that door. I can still see you there. Go, get out of here. Sorry, my wife's annoying me. I can still see you there. Oh, man. Staring at me through the door. I haven't brushed my teeth today, so you actually see the yellow on there. Sorry. Is the delay lagged a little bit better now? It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be, but you know me, I'll toy around with it until I get it right. There we go, 590 milliseconds. It could maybe be 600. Let's go 600. Minus 600. Yeah, well, you just have to deal with that. That's close enough now. Yeah, and Facebook also doesn't bring the sound together again. So let me just save these settings. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen is somebody's going to delete it by accident. That somebody's me. I literally sat here for, I shit you not, 8 hours yesterday to try and figure out what was going wrong here with this. What was going wrong with my feed. Because I couldn't connect my chat to the screen. Because it's nice to see the chat running while you're doing the show. You know, so I can throw the questions out to let me see if I can add. I should add the chat to the other screen. Let me just see. I've got one here for when we do the show. So Brent's going to fit in there. So let me just stick a chat in here. Browser source. We'll do chat one. Chat one, yes. We'll do chat one, and we'll stick me above. Oh shit! Hang on. Maybe I'll just move me to a different spot. Oh, there we go. That's it. Stick me there, and then I'm also in the she. I can make myself maybe a little bit smaller. Yeah, maybe like that. I reckon like that's better. And then we can have Brent on the other side. So let me just resize this slightly. So you can still chat, people. Chat. This can be a little bit bigger. Yeah, and that should fit Brent's screening on that side. It looks nice, the carpet python backdrop, doesn't it? Made that in 2000. I made that in the early, I can't remember when I made that, years ago. Backdrop. You still me, just so what's been going on? Who's been having? I saw Kevin. I saw you had a bit of bad luck with that one female of yours. That's that's enlarged heart. It's a terrible situation in the snake. I mean, we try and mitigate. We try and just keep them comfortable and hope they live till their ripe old age. But there's not much you can do about that. I've dealt with enlarged hearts with my snakes, and I used to keep them. It's one of those things that popped up occasionally. Not much that you can do about it. I think about there looks right. So it's about two and a half snakes on either side. That's it. We'll just pause it there. Backdrop wide. Okay. And we'll go back to the wide chat. So it sounds like it's okay. It sounds like the sound Like this there. J-Bell, what's your favourite creation you made in that background? I don't know. There's quite a few things that I made. Let me go through. I'll show you some photos. Oh, hold on. Let me just open up my my folders. Yeah. Okay. Let me just see if I'll need to move this across from this side to there, and I'll put this from that side to there. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I need to change my screens around a bit, so I've got this. Let me just go now. So these are all the. Where's the desktop? Okay, so this is my picture folder with all the snakes that I made. Okay, so. Actually, let's just go through that. So I forgot some. Let's just open up some pictures here. Why is it opening to this side now? View, large. Okay. That's a double head. I think that was a double. That was the first. That was granite. Why did that do that now? So that was That was a granite jag, double head. That was the first double head for. It's one of the double head for granite albinos that I made years ago. That's the same line that Brent works now with. Now Brent's been very successful with my line, so that was pretty good. Some zebra jack. So this was photos that I took. This was before editing. So I'll show you guys one day. So I had a few nice photos. These were just after I sort of did the process. So there's one of my. I like that. I really like that snake. Bright and yellow. That was a Murray albino. One of the first Murray albinos that were made. That's actually not a bad. That's just a stand. I worked with a lot of striping, and even now you could usually if somebody makes a lot of stripes in their lines, especially jags, it usually add some of my blood lines in the background. See, so that's all jags. Made some really nice jags. That's a Murray albino as well. My jag. That was a jungle zebra jag. That was a Bredli zebra. I think a Bredli zebra jag. Yeah, Bredli zebra jag. No. That was just a zebra. I think. Yeah, that was just a zebra. That's a long time ago. Zebra. See the striping on the back. So that's a lot of stuff that I had a lot of. I saw Nick Mutton post a photo of a stripe. So I was making these things with a solid back stripe years ago already. Another one. See the striping. Lots of striping. Nice jag. That was one of my. That thing was Nero. That thing was not Nero. It was just crazy. That was a bread. Was that? No, that was a coastal sort of that's a coastal. So a lot of the original zebras that came into Australia was like a coastal zebra. So sorry guys, this is just a random show that I'm doing. Just a test. Let me just see if everything's still running fine here. So we've got a few people watching. Amazing. Okay. And it looks like all the messages are working, so that's good. Don't be shy. Drop a message. So that was a zebra that I had. That was a nice zebra jag. That was a nice one. They were from. I made this small clutch from this female that was really beautiful. Really, the funny thing was my best jags came from females who were very dark. So, but you need to look. There's a specific look that they need to have to get to isolate all those. To get to, because it's basically reverse. So the Jaguar mutation removes black. So if a snake's got a lot of black in it, then usually the offspring carves out all that black out of it. Very, very primitive. I'm just glad that everything's working. There's that same snake again. Another Murray. The Murrays were nice. I was glad I made them originally. All the majority of the ones now, the ones that Dave Evans ended up with a pair from Nathan Garrett, and Nathan Garrett got that pair from Danielle Riandino, and I gave that pair to Danielle Riandino as a favour for helping me out with the website in the early days before I learned how to do all that stuff myself. So the majority of that, anything that comes, Murray Darlings out of I know David added some Murray outcrossed it was to make it higher percent Murray, but the majority of albino Murrays out there came from my stables. So I'm glad I made it. Man, I copped some flack in the early days about that. Jeesh. Is everything still working out there? Please comment. And there was I think there was a jungle albino 50%. Another jag, zebra jag. Another zebra jag. That could be all the same one. That's a Bredli zebra jag. Zebra jag. Another one. That was a nice one. I really liked that one. That was these snakes were fantastic. Nice one. Yeah. Oh, I love these. They all government destroyed all of these. Can't believe they did that. But in any case, that was like a coastal mix. You can see the browns. It's got this like I actually want to make albino hybrids. Yeah, I don't know if imbricata would be a good way to go down. I mean, I don't know. My mindset's changed a lot over the last few years about what to do and what not to do with reptiles. I guess at the end of the day, as long as it adds something to the as long as it may, as long as people can see and they can appreciate and they, they can. I guess it's all about adding value to the industry, and if people can like something from seeing the colors, and if it brings in people into the hobby, and because of the color and things that it adds to the industry, then by all means. I don't think I don't doubt those snakes will ever go back into the bush. But awareness, I guess, is what we all hope for. That one day that people don't just want to stone them to death if they see them out in the bush. So very dark patterns in them, yeah. Then that's a Bredli zebra. You can see the browns. I reckon they'd be nice. I think they'd make a nice. They'd make a really nice albino. Because where the browns are, that's where I think that's where you get the oranges now. So you'd have a really intricately patterned Murray albino from that. They were nice. They had these really distinct, really long tails, really, heavy set snakes. Not the most colourful, but you look long term, and you said they washed out colours on the head. That's really nice. I hope it's all relaying okay. Hypo, I think that was a caramel Bredli jag. Hypo, I don't know. I think this was one that the Kulagiaskis made, and it just said, was it? I can't remember. Long time ago. That same snake. That was a hypo. Was it super caramel? I don't know. These things. Ugh. Don't know. I just got one as a token snake. Yeah, just move that out of the way. Hyper. That was nice. I like this one because it had such clean black and clean oranges on it. That was an imbricata. That was a Bredli imbricata. That was a Bredli mix with them. The one that I didn't make this snake. This snake, somebody else made this clutch, and that was the best one out of that clutch. And I really liked this snake. I think it was very different. Like even it had two tones. It just had those real heavy blacks, solid blacks, and then the spaces in between. Almost looked like a jag, but that was just a half blood. Very nice. And there's the backdrop. That's the first backdrop. I know. Was that the first one? Maybe one of the later ones. Just some more. There's the original one with the granites. That was the first granite that and the zebra. The first zebra jungle. Oh, no, not the first. I had a couple of zebra jungles in the early days. That's a zebra there, zebra. And the zebra jag. That one here is what my foundation stock was made on. Majority of snakes in this country come from the majority of. I don't know. My stuff was a little bit rarer because I hoarded everything. So not many people ended up buying stuff from me. I did sell a few in the auctions. Did sell a few in the auctions at some stage. That little orange one there was one of the nicest jungle albinos that I made. But that thing eventually washed out. The colours wash out. So no matter how nice they are when they're young, the colours always go. Oh, it'd be interesting to see how the breadline albinos end up colouring up. I think they'd be very orange, but carpets are funny. They dull down as they get older. And just some comparison shots of the striped stuff that I made. My son with some beardies. I had a lot of beardies as well. Just some beardies. My daughter. My beardies. Sorry, these are all mixed into the folder, and the logo that started it all. Little central netted dragon that I took a photo of. So it's pretty good. The video. That's one of the granites. Just go back into the folder. So there's literally thousands of photos here. I love this snake. I edited that photo a little bit to just get the yellows popping and the contrast. No, what did I do? The sharpness and saturation I made up a little bit. The sharpness over the eye was really nice. Can I zoom? You can see that eye. Man, they've got the best eyes. I'll have to remember them. That I set up the computer now like this, and this snake here was life-changing. Ended up, it had a defect here. See this part here? It had a funny spine kink in it. Didn't last long, but it was, man, still not in any book still not in any carpet python book. So, incomplete carpet python is what I like to call that book. Because, personal issues. It's nice. Well, that's all right. I know what I made. And then just some really high contrast. So this was when I was still learning how to work with photos. See how the highlights are a little bit too high around the edges here. It's got like a yellow tinge to it. So nowadays with photos, I tone down the highlights a little bit. And if you white balance properly, you don't get that yellow tinging around the pictures. She said, well, it's all about white balance photos and white balance. And that's the old setup. That was the old setup that I had. Those racks worked really well. I ended up adding a C channel on the sides here just to keep those racks because the snakes could get their heads out of the sides. So what I did was I just added a C channel there, but you couldn't move these racks. I used to have them on little wheels, and I pushed that rack around one day and the wheel just broke out and I nearly lost half the rack. So it's a good learning curve for me, but it was so neat, there was up to that point. Oh, I don't know what happened now. So up to that point, that photo for some reason, the computer doesn't like that photo. Something happened now. Sorry. So sorry if I don't want to bore people. Let me just have a look here and see if everything's going right still on the stream. There's a few people watching, so just close this down and then we'll open it up again. Now it's working for some reason. So Canon. I used to shoot Canon, but nowadays I'm Sony. Sony all the way. Sony. It's just a better camera system. And then I made these really crazy. What is this not liking this now? For some reason. There we go. These little stripy. I think these were the siblings in that clutch of striped snakes that I made. Really interesting looking snakes. Look at that, And I don't know if that was temperature or if that was something else. I don't know. More beardies, scrubbies, geckos. Yeah, some albino geckos. I was the first to make them here. Did well with him. Murray. That's the first Murray I made. That thing had an enlarged heart as well, and she lived okay. She grew, but the heart was always there, and I probably would have never bred from her. And then I made a whole bunch of others. There was an imprecata here somewhere. There was a nice black and white diamond that I used to have. Never did anything with that snake. Beautiful snake though. remember that thing was shared at one stage. That thing got like crazy. It went viral on my page, and like people haven't seen black and whites like that in a while. There's one of my imbricadas. I think that was Geraldton. Geraldton was the locality. That's a nice hypo-ish stripe coastal. That was a nice snake. Oh, where did I get that? I can't even remember where I got that from. No, you see diamonds, but you don't see, you see the stock standard diamond that looks like, the ones that they rehome and fine and stuff. These snakes as well, this was a nice little jungle. But nice two-tone. That stripe that I got from Trent Renix, that thing was crazy. Oh, that snake was gorgeous. Oh, one of the best. Trent Renix, and I think it was one of Roger's original one. This was Roger's thought always that the stripes that I made, the striped carpets that I made, came from his line. It was never from his line. I think that female would be here somewhere. I've got pictures of her somewhere. That made the stripes. Some Bredli, some Gondros, some old jungles. I really like these. This little jungle hatched out of one of my zebra. I think it was one of my zebra clutches, but it was real nice little. I really like the dark on it. And just some females with eggs. Man, I love taking these photos. So good. I love cameras. I spend way too much money on cameras these days. And I think this was one of my better. This was my 32 clutch year. So that was for early in the season. Everything with a label on has got eggs in it. But I think I made 32 clutches that season. That was a massive year for carpets, for me. It's just a good year. It was just a fantastic year. These tubs, everybody uses these tubs nowadays. I found them in a plastic shop in Melbourne. I did really well with them. Come on. So I'm glad everything's working. Everything's working. I'm very pleased with that. We'll go a little bit live a little bit later. Let me just see. I don't know why this does this. It's almost like there's some photos that the computer just doesn't like. Canon HD. Where are those photos? So yeah, I had a incubation room. I had a Dyson fan heater that just stood on the ground, and that thing, see all the data on there. So I had female number, male ID, eggs fertile, eggs questionable, total of eggs, late, so 17 there, 18 there. So there was about there, I think 12, 15, and then it worked really well. I didn't really mind the condensation because I never opened those tubs. They seem to have enough air in there. There's some more. Witblitz. Had those things for years before anybody else had them, and this is a great photo. She was a good snake. I almost killed her twice because of, I don't know, she just kept going. But I didn't kill her. She just got cold. She got a cold 2 years in a row, and she still laid eggs. Rough scale python on eggs. You actually see the scale. You can actually see the indentation of the scales of the rough scale python on the eggs from her coiling those eggs. Yes, I made them. Bread lion eggs. She wasn't very happy. So there's eggs in that coil. That's how tightly they coil them. And I think these were the first zebra jags that we bred in Australia. First zebras and zebra jags. That clutch was sort of average, I think. First albino Nephirus bulbarensis that I made. What else? And some geckos, Spencer's monitors. These are, when were these photos? Were like, when's the properties? These photos were taken in 2013. Even earlier than that. I think I reshuffled. These photos were edited then. Some nice, some more snakes. Some albino geckos. And these geckos that are now claimed to be Peter Birch's line, but they're not Peter Birch's line, they're my line. He says it's his line, but it's not. There they are, that's the first ones that I managed to get a hold of. send them up to him, and now, whatever, long story. Some Murray, some blue tongues, some beardies. I think these were the first dunners that we made in Australia, or that I made in hypo dunners. Actually, the first ones I made was a full clutch of hypo dunners. There they are. They were nice. I don't think they've made. Nobody's made them that colourful since. I don't know what the guys are doing with the bearded dragons. They look very average to me at the moment. Everybody just wants to make them morph. Nobody wants to refine the lines, and it's a little bit. It's sad. Everybody's always on a mad rush to make the first in show. That jag was one of the best jags that I've ever seen. That white. Some more beardies. Translucent shedding. Translucent. Was that a silkback? No, leatherback. It looks like a leatherback. Yeah, translucent leatherback. First one to make those. Some nice red. Let's see. There's a few people watching. So I just don't want to wear it down. I will we'll go live again a little bit later tonight with Brent. We'll have a look at some of the snakes that he's got. Current stuff. These are like old school stuff. This was a beardie that lost its leg, and people say, "Oh no, take it to the vet. Take it to the vet." So that foot basically just formed a scab over it, and then eventually the little nub just fell off the little scab, and the beardie never died. Nowadays, you have to take everything has to go to a veterinarian. Everything makes a little sneeze, then it has to go to the vet. So I don't know. If it's sick, if it's really sick, take it. But a lot of things like that cosmetic stuff, reptiles get injured in the wild all the time, and they seem to have very good way to cope with mechanisms to cope with that type of injury. There was a nice jag as well. I love these snakes. These white on black things I absolutely adored. White jags. I reckon you could still get $1,000 for a snake like that, even now, because nobody makes them. I haven't seen them in years. Nice jag. Look at that. Memory lane. And then Lynn Whittaker used to make these little white hypos. I haven't seen those in years. They used to be so common at one stage you couldn't give them away. Now you can't find them. Some more zebra jags, Murray jags or Murray albinos. Yeah, this was a nice one. Look at that, beautiful. Can never replicate that ever. And then just some more beardies, more carpets. This was the best bearded dragon I ever made, or best dragon I've ever seen in this country. That's how good that'd be. I would say that was the best beardie I've seen in Australia. That thing was so red, and he only got redder as he got older. Lost that as well. Got euthanized. And they used to pose. Jags are such good posers. I mean, look at the pose. Love that pose. Because they're so strung that they just coil up and they don't move. And the amount of times I've seen that. And people say, "Oh, what do you do to get them like that?" At first, Axanthic zebras in Australia. Yeah, just put it there. I'll go. Yeah. Axanthic zebra jag. Where's this? I wasn't sure. This clutch was a weird one. So, I mean, you get the clutch, but then you look at the eyes. I mean, that's a good giveaway with anything axanthic. You can look at the eye, and they've got these, like, pale eyes. There it is. Whole clutch. I had such good odds with that. And then I think this was sort of from my white line of jags. And then this was the best stripe I ever made. Well, I actually made hold on. Let's close this up again for some reason. Open. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. Have to open it up again. Cannons down here. Let me just check. Thanks for watching. I appreciate people having an interest. I was going through a little bit of memory lane here. Where were those? Towards India. So that was a clutch. That was the clutch that they came out of. So the whole clutch full of. So you can see the darker ones here. I do think that was a Xanthic though. And you got redder ones here. And then you can see the zebra jags here are all Xanthics and Xanthic zebra jags. But there was some of them I couldn't say what they were, because they're very intricately patterned here. Here's just another one. See the grey, the silver eye. And this was one of my best. Oh, come on. I don't know why it does that. Okay, so. Oh, there you go. Yeah, suddenly it goes. So that's another. Almost needs time to open up because there's quite a few. I've got a few gigs worth of photos here. Sorry, it's not the. Thanks to Zach. Outstanding. Yeah, thanks. I like to think it was. I had a great collection. I had an absolute, and then I stuffed up, But we. That's how we learn. That's how we learn. The hard lesson we learn. And let me just check here. Where did they go? So we'll touch on these things again at some stage. There's one. This was a. There we go. That was a really reduced pattern zebra jag that I made. That thing was fantastic. Fantastic snake. Angry. Oh, the less pattern they seem to have, the more aggressive they are. They don't like to play. And then there's we went through these before. So this was the zebra jag that thing was. We made a albino form. We made an albino version of that a few years later. A friend of mine made one from direct bloodlines that came from me, and so it's definitely heritable. We just don't know. We just can't figure it out. Can't figure the striping out. It was we see that was a different tinge to that snake. But look at that. That was a different snake, I think. Just so stripy, so reduced striped. I haven't seen them though. You don't see that stuff. Brent's working with some. Brent got a clutch also. I think Brent got a clutch that had a lot of striping in as well that he shows photos every now and then. I'm pretty sure that came from that line as well. And that's what the white jags looked like when they were born. I sold that one to who bought that? Stephen Judd bought that one. I don't know where he sent that one. And then there's that little reduced. I made these reduced pattern jags. Look at the eye. Great looking eye. Love eyes. And then some that Ridgedale there, man. That thing, that lizard got me so good. Oof. Ooh, that lizard bit the living crap out of me. I almost cried. Almost cried. And then of course this was one from Simon's that we got from. That was the best super hypo jag I've seen. That thing had little black spots on it. That was it. I think we paid like $600 for that from Southern Cross. That was like a. And then I took these. I love big old. I love big water dragons. I really do. I love big old male water dragons. Some of beauties. There's a hypotrans dunner, the first ones that I made in this country. Another one here. Had a couple that just made beautiful snakes. And then just early days joking. If you like jags, then Al Qaeda wins. That was early days of keeping jags in Australia. If you like jags, then Al Qaeda wins. I love that. I had a friend that was a graphics that could work. Great graphic designers. It was just the best. And there's nice zebra jag. I love that snake as well. Man, pure. A lot of people say a lot of people have claim to have pure zebras, jungle zebras, but man, they don't. There was like the stuff that they originally came in was not pure. I managed to get a few pure zebra jags and zebras, and those things I just refined over years. So there's a little bit of a insight. That was a Rob McLeod hypo that I managed to get my hands on. I think I bought that through Joe actually. So we'll get back here a little bit later, 8 o'clock. we'll do a little stream. I don't want to go too hard now. How long? The 40 minutes. Thanks for entertaining me. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Have a great lunch. And, I'll see if I can get Brent on board and we'll go live at 8. Thanks, guys.